On behalf of Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad, India, I welcome you in this live video lecture. My name is Wasim Qureshi, an assistant professor of English in Vishwakarma Government Engineering College, Ahmedabad, and I am one of the authors of the book Active English, that is published by Macmillan and prescribed as a textbook in English for diploma engineering courses by Gujarat Technological University. I'm here just to discuss some problems which students face while writing examinations. And this is the topic of my today's lecture. Let's solve the queries. We know that tenses always create much trouble for our students. So let's begin with the tenses. Basically, in the examination paper, in a question paper, some sentences are given with some blanks in each of them, and you are advised, you are instructed to fill in the gaps with the appropriate form of the verb which is given in the brackets. Sometimes all these sentences are interlinked, they are connected, they are contextual, and sometimes the sentences are separated, they are not interlinked, interconnected. So how to fill in the blanks with the appropriate verb form, that is also an art. If you know tenses well, there would be no tension for the tenses. So let's begin with the tense. The first thing which we have to do is to identify the keyword which is given in the sentence. If you know the keywords which are there for different tenses, it would be very nice. It would be very much, good for you to understand or to recognize the tense in the sentence. Here there is an example. Look, the kids blank there. Into the brackets, the verb play is given. Now, you have to identify which word can tell us the name of the tense in the sentence. You are right. The key word look, which is there in the beginning, it is an imperative sentence that indicates the present continuous tense. So look becomes the keyword. Now the answer would be from present continuous tense. And when we think about the present continuous tense, the sentence would be in active. And if the sentence is in active voice, we have to use am, is, are, any one of them, plus ing form. If the sentence is in passive voice, we have to write am, is, are, plus being, plus past participle. Now the answer of the earlier sentence is this. Look, the kids are playing there. So look becomes the keyword, and the kids, they are the subject which does the action. So it is in active voice mode, and we are talking about kids, it's plural. So instead of am and is, we have to use are, and then we have to write ing. So the first thing which you have to identify is the keyword in the sentence. The second thing that you have to find out in the sentence is active or passive voice which is there present in the sentence. Here there is one sentence. Yesterday I blank a cake. Into brackets, the verb make is given. Now I is the subject or the doer, and that comes before the verb. So when the subject comes before the verb, it is in active voice mode. So the sentence is in active voice, and as yesterday indicates that it is a keyword for simple past tense, the answer would be made, made. So you can give the answer. Yesterday I made a cake. When the same sentence can be put in a different way, it would be like this. Yesterday a cake blank by me. Again the same verb make is given in the brackets. There is a word cake before the verb, and when the cake as an object comes before the verb, it indicates the passive voice mode. in the sentence. A cake is the object which is before the verb, so the sentence is in passive voice, and the answer would be was or were plus past participle, and a cake is singular, so we have to select was. So the answer is was plus made. So yesterday a cake was made by me. Let's have some question which were taken from the winter 2012 paper by GTU for diploma engineering courses from the same syllabus. So here is the sentence. I blank a letter, into brackets there is write, please don't bother me for a while. Now here you have to fill in the blank with the appropriate form of the verb which is given in the brackets. Now first thing which you have to do is to identify the keyword, and you can see there is no keyword at all. But the second sentence, which is in a form of imperative style, don't bother me for a while, it indicates that the action of writing is going on at the moment, and that's why it is in present continuous tense. The second thing which we have to identify is the sentence is in active mode or in passive voice. So before write, I is written, and that's why it is a subject, so it is in active voice style. So with present continuous tense in active voice style, we can write the answer, and the answer is I am writing a letter. That means I am writing at the moment, so please don't bother me for a while. Another question. Most children, into brackets, like ice cream. And another sentence is Hemant is very sociable and, into brackets, know a lot of people. Now once again, you cannot identify any keyword inside the sentences, but both the sentences reflect a kind of habit. Children basically love ice cream, they eat ice cream, they like ice cream. In the same way, when we talk about someone's characteristics, Hemant as a sociable man, and he knows people, because once you are sociable, you know people, you meet people. So both the sentences, though do not have any keyword, any hint, they show that they have simple present tense. Now when we talk about simple present tense, both the sentences are in active voice, because before the verb we have the subject. But the first subject in the first sentence, that is most children, and most children is a plural word. In the second sentence, Hemant is a singular word. Once again, we have to know that in simple present tense, in active voice sentences, when there is a plural subject, we have to use main verb of the main form of the verb, and when it's a singular subject, we have to use s or es after the verb. So for the first sentence, it would be most children like ice cream. This would be the answer. And for the second sentence, the answer would be knows. Hemant is very sociable and knows a lot of people. I love ice cream. My brother loves ice cream. In that way, you can identify the sentences and tenses. Now this is the third sentence. You, into brackets, have a good time in Paris last weekend. But at the end of the sentence, you can see question mark. So the word last weekend indicates simple past tense, and it's a question sentence. So you have to fill in two blanks, which is not there in the sentence, because sometimes when you face the question paper, it would be asked like that. So did you have a good time in Paris last weekend? Question mark. So that is the correct answer. I blank English for about 10 years now. Into brackets, the verb study is given. Now when you look at now, it looks like it's a keyword for present continuous tense, but for with time frame indicates present perfect continuous tense. For about 10 years, I have been teaching English to different students in different colleges. In the same way, 10 years with for, though it indicates or it has now word, it reflects present perfect continuous tense. So the answer would be I have been studying. In present perfect continuous tense, we basically use have or has plus been plus ing. So the answer is have been studying. We blank our project before we went on the tour. Now here you can see there are two different clauses, and two clauses are joined with the connector before. When you find before or after with two clauses and one of them is in simple past tense, you can see we went on the tour, and before that, so something which happened before, something which is in the past, we have to use past perfect. You can say that past perfect is the past of the past. So finishing our project had completed before we went on the tour. So I have to select past perfect tense. Again, it is in active voice. So we had finished our project before we went on the tour. Now this is a very simple sentence. Tomorrow indicates simple future tense. We are talking about tomorrow, which will happen. So Rajesh will order new pens tomorrow. Now we have to know how to change the voice, and for that we have to look at the sentences, find out the voice in the sentence. This is very important. If you know the sentence is in active voice, you can change the sentence into passive voice, and if you know the sentence is in passive voice, you can change the sentence into active voice. Now the very clear-cut idea to find out active and passive voice in the sentence is to find out the subject, the doer, the person or thing which does the action which is there in the sentence. And the second thing which we have to find out is the object on which the process is done. So in most of the sentences you can find three different categories. One is subject, second is verb, and third is object. So here in the sentence, Raj eats delicious food. I can ask you a question, who eats? The answer would be Raj. The answer of my who question would indicate the subject. So Raj becomes the subject. I say or I ask, what does Raj do? And he would say he eats. So eats is a verb, is an action, right? And again the third question, what does Raj eat? The answer is delicious food. The answer of my WH question, what question, would give me the name of the object. So Raj becomes subject, then eats is a verb, and delicious food is the object. Before the verb, when you find the name of the subject, the doer or the person which does the action, it becomes active voice. And when you find out the name of the object before any verb, it will indicate the passive form. Here you can say that Raj eats delicious food. It is in active voice. The doer or subject comes before the verb, it is in active voice, and when the doer or subject comes after the verb, it becomes passive voice. Now how to change the sentences into passive voice, that is also important. There are certain rules. These three rules are there. Subject or doer comes after the verb in passive voice. Object comes before the verb, and verb is changed as per the tense. When you change the position of the subject, which has to come after the verb, we have to use by. So when I have to change the sentence, Raj eats delicious food, into the passive voice, Raj as a subject goes after the verb, but then I have to write by Raj. You know, if there is he, you have to write by him. You know, if there are we have to write by us. So in that way you have to change the name of the person, right? You have to use by with the subject when it comes after the verb. The second thing, the delicious food, it comes before the verb. So in the passive voice of that sentence, you can see delicious food is eaten by Raj. And the third rule that we have learnt is we have to change the verb according to the tense. The sentence Raj eats delicious food is in simple present tense. You can see eats. As I said earlier, with singular subject we use s or es with the verb. But when the sentence is changed into passive voice, we have to use is or am or are plus past participle of the verb. Now delicious food is singular, and that's why I have taken is. So delicious food is eaten by Raj. Now you can see different verb forms based on the tenses. The very first line indicates simple present tense. When you can see, we can use main verb or s or es form. When the same sentence is changed into passive voice, we have to use am is are plus past participle. I can say I play cricket, he plays cricket, play and plays. But the sentence is changed into passive voice. Cricket is played by me, cricket is played by you, right? This is in simple past tense, when you have to use past form in active voice and was verb plus past participle in passive voice. I played cricket and cricket was played by me. The third one is in simple future tense, will or shall plus main form of the verb. In passive, will or shall plus be plus past participle. I will play cricket, cricket will be played by me. For present continuous tense, we use am is are plus ing in active and am is are plus being plus past participle in passive. In such way, these are two different forms for active and passive in past continuous tense. This is for present perfect tense. These are for past perfect tense, and here is the form for modal auxiliaries. So modal auxiliaries plus